welcome to Relish Books. Today I'm just doing a quick reading update, what I'm working on right now. When I was traveling about a week ago, I got some new Daphne du Maurier books, a couple other things, along with my Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell audiobook. I packed them in my suitcase, but I flew home and they are driving home, so I haven't been reunited with those yet. And so I got some stuff to read from the library in between, and somebody had commented a little bit ago recommending P.G. Wodehouse. So I went ahead and got the 3 Jeeves books that they had at the library. Thank you, Jeeves, Right Ho, Jeeves, Jeeves and the Tie That Binds. I have read one P.G. Wodehouse book before in entirety, and I've picked up a lot of others over the years and read bits and pieces. I really enjoyed the full-length one that I read. I can't remember which one it was because the characters overlap so much. But it was not a Jeeves story. The Jeeves story that I've tried to read before, you would think, and I would think, that this would be like exactly my type of thing. This would be exactly my humor. It's over the top. It's like, uproarious is a word that's used to describe these stories a lot. It's over the top. It's brilliant though, but I don't know. I have not been able to get into Jeeves stories before. I think they're just a little heavy-handed for me, and I know it's completely intentional. The author is brilliant and amazing. I think it's just not quite my kind of humor, but I'm hoping that will change, and I'll really get into them with these 3. When I was trying to figure out the chronological order, I actually read a little bit of all 3. I don't think it really matters that much because he always goes back and recaps everything that happened in the other books that relate to what you need to know about, because each book talks about other events and other characters, but each book stands alone. But I'm pretty sure that of these 3, I have these in the correct order now. Thank you, Jeeves, Right Ho, Jeeves, Jeeves and the Tie That Binds, even though there's books in between all of them. So I'm hoping I can just get through, and it doesn't really matter that much because the library didn't have nearly as many as there are. I also read this the other day, Up a Road Slowly by Irene Hunt. It's a Newbery Award-winning novel, so I grabbed it. And I don't know if any of you on here have even heard of this. It's kind of just a little book. It reminds me of Ella Montgomery a lot, but not as bad as Ella Montgomery's worst stuff, but not nearly as good as her best stuff. So kind of just a very mediocre story. One of those books that I read really fast. I was, pushed to get right through it. I was interested enough in it, but very disjointed. I hate it in books, especially in a book like this. I feel like it happens, it's just this girl's growing up from the time that she's 7 to adulthood, and just her life. But I hate it in books when things are just skimmed over and not developed. It felt very disjointed. There would be this pivotal moment in her life, you feel like it was working up to something, and then it just moves on past. It was like it's setting you up and then just skipping forward a few years, setting you up, skipping forward a few years. She never really pursued any consistent train of thought. She never developed any plot line, not even any common thread that ran through it to connect all these things. She would talk about how important this one character was, never develop them or talk about them again, talk about how impactful and wonderful this other person was in her life, never talk about them again, pretty much. So no development and very disjointed. So I didn't like it at all, and yet at the same time, I rushed right through it, reading it. So, I don't know. I'm sure anybody who's familiar with reading knows books like that. Those books that you tear right through, and you're like, man, that was terrible, but I read right through it. I stayed up late reading it. So, anyway, those are what I'm working on right now while I wait for my other stack of books to come back to me. So yeah, wish me luck with P.G. Wodehouse, and if you have favorites of his titles, please let me know, and I will try to check those out as well if I like these and make it through. So, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.